I've said multiple times that I didn't want to comment on this or make a video on this. I even posted a community post addressing why I didn't. But I think it's got to the point where it's affecting most of the commentary community and affecting the representation of commentary YouTubers, and I think it needs to be addressed. Now, I'm going to say that I'm not going to show my face in this video, or I'm not even going to go into really, really great depth into it. I will discuss the basics and discuss everything that's going on, but I think I'm only going to do this because it's affecting every corner of the commentary community and affecting everyone's reputation, so I just feel like I need to come out and discuss this. So if you don't know what happened, a user under the name of Ivory came out and said that Pyrocynical, who has nearly 5 million subscribers, groomed him. So this is a very serious accusation, one of the reasons I don't want to go too in-depth with it, as I'm only 13. But looking at the evidence that was supported with the Discord stuff, it just looks like they're role-playing. But I have evidence against Pyro and with Pyro. So we're going to be looking at the Pyro statements and what he has said, but we're only going to be mainly looking at the YouTube video, as that supports more of his evidence, supports more of my evidence. So yes, let's get into it.
I'm going to use this video to address the allegations made against me. Recently, to those who are unaware, I've been accused of grooming a 15-year-old boy when I was 19. That I'm some kind of predator and was aware of his age all along. This is categorically untrue and a complete lie.
I do agree with Pyro for nearly all of his statements, including that he did not groom Ivory, as I think that is absolutely pathetic. But like we've seen, the roleplay situation is disgusting, and he didn't even check for Ivory's age, which we'll get to in a bit. There's a statement, which I'm going to be putting on screen now, which is basically Pyro coming out and saying to Ivory that he's worried that he's going to get caught for everything that he's done. This could be interpreted as that he's worried about grooming allegations, or that mainly that personally what I think is that it's all to do with the furry stuff, and he's a commentary YouTuber is a bit weird and a bit horrible, and the stuff that he hasn't confirmed Ivory's age, maybe knowing that later Ivory was 15. That's my take on it. Let's continue watching Pyro's video.
To a lot of people too.
Now, this is the main part of the Google Doc that really set me off. I believe this piece of evidence is enough to say Pyro is in the wrong.
Whether Pyro does respond to everything or just pulls a mini-lad and ignores it for as long as he can is still up in the air.
This document makes insane assumptions based on limited and broken evidence. It's not hard to dismantle it. It's just annoying that I have to be the one to do it.
What those clips were on about there was a Google document which was released by another YouTuber who has made several videos on Pyrocynical, breaking down his statements and everything, and breaking down the situation. Now, the statements that were made during that Google document, it's backed up by some significant evidence. However, it's still it's stretching the truth a lot, and there's a lot of evidence that isn't just there. There's a lot of evidence going against Pyro, but at the same time there's stuff with Pyro.
Ever ask you for nudes?
No.
No.
What the old cave troll, and it wouldn't have made a difference. It was roleplay after all. You're just pretending. Now it turns out my accuser, Ivory, one of the people that I've had these conversations with, was 15. That is 3 to 4 years younger than I was. It was entirely my responsibility to verify his age before having these conversations. And the fact that I didn't, that is so incredibly negligent of me to do so.
That statement that Pyro's made there can be determined in two ways. That he either did know Ivory's age or didn't. Personally, I believe that Pyro sort of knew, as Ivory had tweeted out many, many times that he was 15. However, Pyro was suspended from Twitter for some time when these tweets were available, but he still could have gone back and looked at them. So that defunks one of his points where his Twitter was suspended.
To expose that I'm a sexual predator, I took advantage of him, and I knew his age all along. This is all untrue, and I am amazed how out of proportion this is all blown up. Several of our conversations were leaked online by Ivory. Here's one of the more damning ones.
Pyro admits throughout this video that the stuff they used to do with roleplay and everything was wrong, and I agree. It was disgusting, and from what I've seen of it, it shouldn't have been done, especially that Pyro didn't confirm Ivory's age, which is a big no-no still. Even if Pyrocynical didn't groom Ivory, which I personally don't think Pyrocynical groomed Ivory, even if he didn't, this is still disgustingly wrong, and he should be basically punished for what he's done.
You up, hug you while... to be...
Well, to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while rubbing you against my huge, sweaty moobs, then kiss your cheeks, telling you how much I loved you, and then kiss you on the lips and let out a hard, long belch into your mouth. Come on.
Literally DeviantArt here. My God. He's provided a lot of proof like this to show how much of a degenerate I was, and I mean, I agree, you know. You got me. Now, the whole world pretty much knows what I jerk off to, but what he and no one else has done is come close to substantiating how this constitutes as grooming. Ivory himself even struggles to explain how what I did was grooming.
How were you groomed? Because you don't need to be groomed for this to be wrong. I mean, is it really fair that you use the word grooming? And if that's true, if you feel that's true, where was this going?
I'm not like, I don't know. I was in a call with my friend when I like typed it out, and I typed like, I remember I typed that and asked like, is that okay?
From that statement alone, this confirms that Pyrocynical did not groom Ivory, but did do the furry roleplay, which was still terribly wrong and didn't confirm Ivory's age. I'm going to skip ahead in the video and watch a little bit further. I've watched it all, but you know what I mean. I'll play a bit more and we'll see what the outcome is of the video.
Sive, PewDiePie's editor, is one of the many people I invited to this event, and he agrees the claim is just complete bullshit.
I never thought in my life I'd have to ever justify something like this, but I do remember back in 2017, Niall invited me and a bunch of other people to drink with him. And I remember telling Niall very last minute that I couldn't come, so I pretty much flaked on him. To say something sexual was going to happen in a very public event with a load of people, even people Niall didn't even know and wasn't really close with, it's just false, seriously. There's just no question about that.
I just wanted to play even more evidence that Pyrocynical did not groom Ivory. We're going to play a bit of the ending and a bit of a later video because I wanted to back up Pyrocynical there a bit harder.
People came out on Twitter saying that they also had dishonest experiences with him. I used that to further my own belief that these accusations were made for the sake of it. Me including the anecdotal evidence led to the belief that Ivory lied about his age. That is never a claim I have made that he has done to me. I've only said that I did not know his age at 15, which in turn has caused more people to believe that I lied in my original statement. I just want to say though, this is not an excuse. It is entirely my responsibility to verify age. But this never escalated from two morons talking about inhaling furry farts.
Again, this is another good statement from Pyro trying to back up the age stuff and that he was suspended. However, my theory still stands that he could have gone back on Twitter and checked the age of Ivory. And if this was afterwards and he realised that at the time Ivory was 15, he could have gone back and apologised, which it wouldn't have made it okay at all, but at least he knew what he did wrong. Where this is just totally wrong, and I just find it hard to believe in that space of time he never found out that Ivory was 15. Now, Pyro deflects this statement again from other people, and deflects it well, but I'm still standing with my statement.
Still did, and still kind of do hate myself for it. That being said, over the last couple of weeks, I've learned to embrace it, because that's all I can do now. Now, this is a good time actually to discuss a Discord conversation that was leaked, where I'm asking someone for a way to like mass delete Discord messages. Very obvious explanation. I was shit scared of the public finding out that I was a complete degenerate. And, you know, pretty much just being kink shamed for all eternity. But this has now been twisted into like me trying to hide evidence of grooming to escape.
This is a statement I referenced earlier. Now, I do not think Pyro was trying to hide all this grooming allegations, and that is just totally absurd. That is stretching the truth a lot, like I said right at the beginning of the video. Now, throughout the video, you've seen videos playing, or the main video, Pyrocynical's coming out video and saying his statement. You've seen more and more evidence, and you should have been noticing more and more evidence. This is just so that you can see it from the main man himself, Pyro. We're going to watch a bit more of this video because I want to get into detail how not all the commentary community is bad and how Pyrocynical is not in the wrong. Yes, he did some bad stuff, but he's not a groomer.
Those same people are saying I'm guilty because they read this document and didn't bother to cross-reference it with my original statement.
Not only is there proof of Pyro knowing that Ivory was underage, but definitive proof that the messages were real, along with other damning evidence too.
And also, these are the same people that say, I shouldn't take my time with this response.
It's gone too far and too much has come out for him to take his time with it, like he did with his last response.
There needs to be a middle ground. I did fuck up. There is no excuse, and I am sorry for that. But I am not a groomer or a predator, and documents like these only try to show one side and build a narrative that I'm a liar when I have never actually changed my story from my original post. My mistake, if anything, was not being clearer. I have never tried to hide anything. This document has managed to fool so many people. Like, you've got this person that came to all my meet and greets and they're dressed up as my character. The effort they went to was insane. But thanks to this document, they've recently came out claiming that I was only nice to them because I had an ulterior motive.
Pyro states some facts here and about the Google Doc that it isn't always reliable and that it's twisted a lot of people's minds with it because it is stretching the truth. I've said this throughout the video, it's stretching the truth. Now, the person that has made this Google document, like I said earlier, has made multiple videos on Pyro. This is a segment which relates to this a lot from his most recent video of the drama.
He then states that he was happy to wait for her to hit 16, meaning nothing sexual transpired, and he was happy to wait for her to reach the age of consent if they were to ever have a proper relationship. So they never had a relationship, but he was waiting for her to reach the age of consent just in case, and then admitted in later edits that he didn't even know what the age of consent was in her country, something that he seemed so ardent about in his current video. Pyro then reveals he'd since contacted the girl to ask if she'd sent the screenshot, to which she denied and believed to have been hacked. I'm not going to speak to the circumstances surrounding these allegations because I know there are people behind the scenes who are involved in reopening their files on top of files, but I wanted to bring it up to highlight just how much it mirrors the current allegations. Pyro manipulated the situation to make it appear baseless. He made it seem as if Keem had entirely fabricated the story, not acknowledging in his video that the girl did in fact exist. Once Keem produced evidence and he couldn't deny the relationship anymore, he tried to discredit the message through attacking the leakers, implying that they had hacked her account and that they simply had a vendetta.
Now, I agree with some of that statement there and about some of the stuff with the evidence, and it is looking more and more likely that Pyro has done some more messed up shit that he isn't coming out about, but I'm not going that deep. I'm only scratching the surface of all this. There has been a lot of evidence in this video, and if you have missed some, go and watch these videos about it.
16 out of 19. Only then to confirm that I never actually sent or received nudes. I like as well how they just hid it in the middle of that huge paragraph. It also tries to twist conversations like this one. You know, like claiming that this isn't part of the roleplay, but discussing the hypothetical of having sex with Ivory. No context, no conversation before, no conversation after.
So yeah, wrapping up today's video, I think the whole situation is diabolical. Pyro and Ivory are in the wrong in both ways or another. I have made a few statements in comment sections on a video which had ads on, by the way, profiting off apparent groomer, which is funny. I've made several statements which has been by a few people. Now go and check out a few people's videos on this situation, including Monkeys, which, insert clip now, which will be in link in the description. But thank you for watching today's video. This is Samuel, and he is out. Peace. Bye bye.